There we go. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, hey, Clean's there too. Cool.
Is it on?
Ta-
Is it on? Is it on speaker? Is that what this is? Okay. I can hear you.
okay. Why do I feel like we're gonna, no offense. I feel like we're gonna do a shit show, but I'm all about it.
Yeah. I mean, what else did you expect,
Where's your energy, brother? What, you been hitting the slopes all day?
dude? We've been on it since this morning and yesterday. We just got back to the house.
How's the snow up there? We left Philadelphia. It was raining. I was like, this is terrible weather for snow. But I
Well,
saw there was snow when you arrived.
we got to the Airbnb and it was snowing and it was nice actually. It was like I was like, fuck, this is gonna be awesome. Next morning we woke up, fucking fresh fucking snow, beautiful. I was like, wow, this
Awesome.
is we're in the woods. I mean, everything looked fresh and it was great. Then we started driving to the mountain and then there's no fucking snow. I'm like, where'd all the fucking snow go? So we're driving there and literally there's no snow anywhere. And I'm like, dude, what is going on here? And then we get to the mountain and I'm like, we're a block away. And I'm like, dude, there's no snow here. Like, did it all rain and then like wash it away? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It was
and,
raining when we left.
yeah. So basically, obviously they blow their own snow up at the mountain,
Mhm.
and thankfully, they did. But when we first got there, it was just slush. Like, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
talking like you'd step and your foot would go down 4 inches. It was just like slush.
But
So
you
it was.
you still hit
Oh,
this. You hit it though.
oh
Sounds
yeah.
like you've been going all day on slush, huh?
Right, well, that was the first day, ride or die. Towards
Okay.
the end, towards the end of the night, I'm 45 years old. We started getting a little beat, called it a night, a little bit before closing time. I'm like, great day, had an awesome time. But towards the middle of the day, it was fine. It just kind of like,
Mhm.
sucked up a little, dried up a little bit. It was good. And then today it was a little colder. So we hit the slopes. We did a bunch of, we got a bunch of videos we'll be posting and stuff. Me and Johnny, my boy, we did the last run shirtless all the way down.
That
So that
would
was.
be Baby Rips then.
Yes, Johnny Ace. That's my baby
Johnny
boy.
Ace, Baby Rips.
Well, his
That
his his real biological on his birth certificate name is Johnny Ace Steinke, and his Instagram handle is Baby Rips.
right on.
So
Last name,
Johnny,
is that your last name then? I've never known it, Clean.
yep, James Steinke is my name, and then my oldest son, he's James Jr.
So is
and
that why you picked the moniker Clean, because your name sounded so much like Stinky? You like
uh,
had to have a different.
it basically my let's get into let's just dig into the personal stuff here. So
Yeah,
basically,
well, actually, let me start with this because I'm, like I said, I'm already starting on a shit show like an idiot. So let me just say, hey, Clean, Rock One, great to have you on Straight to the Point, completely off topic. All
what
right,
up,
now
what
we
up?
can go. Clean Rock One, the most famous ink master of all time. I can definitely, the most competitive ink master of all time. And by that, I can say, because you've competed more than anyone else has ever competed. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's been a couple that have come back though just as much, like in the past 3 seasons though.
I feel like this last season was kind of just a comeback. The
I
season 14 was everybody from season 12, wasn't it? Or maybe 13.
I don't know. I didn't watch the new one.
Are
And
you soured on it?
I
You're
keep hearing
busy.
reviews about it. So I don't watch TV, man. I really don't. I
Do
don't
you ever
watch.
do you get this though, that people have to dog on it in front of you? Do you feel like they're maybe not telling you the truth because they're worried how you might feel? Though I happen to know you don't give a fuck about
No, no,
most
no.
any. Oh,
I just read the reviews on the Inkmaster Instagram, and everybody talks shit about it. They keep saying, "What the fuck? Bring back Nunez. What the hell? Bring back Oliver. Ah, the show sucks. This season sucks." I mean, that's just what the reviews are. So I think it's kind of
really?
funny. Yeah.
I personally, I this was one of the first seasons I watched in so
Okay.
long, because I was excited to see new judges. Really, I've thought for the longest time they needed somebody that more represented, everybody. in tattooing. You had two traditional tattoo artists and a guy who collects traditional work.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So at least I always felt rounded out. So I saw Nico Hurtado was there. I was excited. I saw DJ Tambi. I really respect his
He's
work.
not he wasn't a judge.
Who is Tambi is not a judge?
No, he won. It's it was
You're
Nico.
absolutely right. Who is
All
the
right.
other judge? I respect. I know Ami's
Okay.
there.
So
Who's the other guy?
you got Omi, you got Ryan Ashley, you got Nico, and then you got the guy from Good Charlotte.
Joel Madden.
Sure. I only know
Son.
that I only know that because at dinner tonight somebody was talking about it, and that was about maybe 30 minutes ago. So that's the only reason I remember.
Joel Madden is the son of NFL star and EA Sports game Madden. That's where he got all that money for the rock and roll bands.
Well, sometimes it takes money to make money.
I'm making that up. I'm pretty positive that's not true at all. Sorry, brother. I thought someone called me out. I don't even know Madden, the football guy Madden's first name. I was trying to concoct that, and I really went about it poorly.
You know, it's crazy. When it comes to music and bands, I am the worst. Like, I don't even know who's in Guns N' Roses besides Axl Rose and Slash.
Well, that's the only two there were. That's why. Wait, no, there was the drummer Steven Adler got kicked out at one point for doing too many drugs, and then Duff McKagan. Gosh, I do know too many of them. Then Izzy Stradlin. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, see, like I don't. I like. I'm bad at that. When people are like, "Oh, have you ever heard of this band?" and I'm like, "Nah." And then all of a sudden it comes on the radio and I know every song that they play, and I'm like, "They're like, hey, I thought you didn't know this band." I'm like, "Well, I didn't know what their name was." You know,
You
like
don't follow it.
I've never ever been I've never been good at that. I don't know. I just don't know why. I just don't care. I mean, and it goes and it
I think
literally.
I know why.
Why?
I think someone once, an ex-girlfriend of yours, I believe, is where maybe a contestant of against is at some point somebody on the show called you a cowboy. And I don't know a lot about cowboys, but I thought a lot of things fit in the reference to the Willie Nelson song. Not that you would know it was a Willie Nelson song, but you probably know the song. Um, do you like smoky pool rooms,
Yes.
clear mountain mornings,
Yes.
old faded Levi's,
Yes.
little warm puppies? We're hitting for 1,000 right now, brother.
Yes.
Do you like children?
Yes.
Do you like women of the night?
More than most.
Yeah, you're a cowboy, man. So let's see. Them that know him them that don't know him won't like him, and them that do sometimes won't know how to take him. But he ain't wrong. He's just different, and his mind won't let him do things to let you think he's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I'm sorry. I was thinking of that the whole interview. I swear to God, I was just like, man, he really is a cowboy, and all these things about that fit him. And I was so desperate. You don't disagree with any of these?
I suck at being a fucking cowboy. I just rode a bull and fucking got bucked right.
Well, cowboys rode horses. It's well misunderstood about cowboys. Many people thought they had guns on them. Very rarely did they have any kind of pistol, because pistols back then were known to go off and scare the whole stampede. Often were, I guess maybe this doesn't apply. Often were homosexual. That also doesn't make it into the genre of cowboy western movies. And
The old steers and queers, you know.
yeah, well, it gets cold on the well back then, pirates and cowboys. My stupid understanding, and you know what? This could just be some liberal ass revisionist history that said an obscure fact that I just decided was sounded about right. But it made pirates for sure pushed out of society. If you're not, like getting ready to get married and be part of the village, yo ho ho, and you're probably going to go to a place where women are unlucky and we'll sink the ship. Well, the cowboys, you didn't have women out there either, and it does get cold on the plane. And you do maybe, they're not like everybody in town.
I mean, it's kind of like uh, any port in the storm. Oatmeal's better than meal.
Right on.
You
All right. I didn't mean to make the reference, I guess, of and I'm gonna back away, Cleen. I'm gonna back away. I should probably set the setting of what we were talking about prior because we just saw each other at the biggest tattoo convention in the world,
Yep.
Philadelphia Tattoo Convention. Um, and then right after that, every year, you and Longenecker and a few other friends, Aaron is too, I think. Is that true?
Yeah, Aaron. I mean, are you talking about who's on the snowboard trip?
Yes, who's on the
Oh,
trip with you guys right now?
so let's see here. We got Aaron is Ian Bell. We got let's see, Dale made it up, but he hurt his wrist on the last snowboard trip in Minneapolis, so he didn't snowboard, but he just left. He was here.
Right on.
Uh, so let's see, Mark, Aaron, um,
A gaggle of it. Baby Rips is out there too, obviously.
Baby Rips,
Johnny
um,
Ace.
let's see, Kimberly's here, Danny's here. There's a pretty good crew that was up there all weekend.
Fuck yeah.
So we tore it up. We had a good time, man.
Is
Everybody's
this the
actually,
last day?
yeah, everybody's packing up right now. Everybody's actually in the hot tub.
Oh fuck, I'm holding you from that, huh?
Oh no, dude, I'm good, man. There's like it's a small hot tub and there's like 20 people in it right now. So
Oh,
I was the only one in it last night because it was so cold and snowing so heavily that my ears were freezing because I had to poke my head out of the water.
all right,
And
to breathe, huh? Didn't
well,
want to get a straw.
yeah, it was just it was cool though.
So who's got hurt? Who didn't get hurt? We already
So
know that Dale got hurt, but did anybody
let's
take any good spills? Anybody get some good air?
let's see. Ian's pretty messed up right now. Johnny said his knee was hurting him a little bit. I think all the old guys are all definitely a little sore by the end of the day. Um,
Does that mean
yeah,
your son's the only one that's doing all right?
he's doing good. He said his knee was bothering him. He was trying 360s all day, and he stuck one. But he
Nice.
before before that he twisted up his knee pretty good. So, but I mean it comes with the territory, man. You know what I mean? Like you're either gonna sit on the sidelines and never ever achieve it, or you're gonna go out there and you're gonna do it everything you got and give it everything you got, and in the meantime, you're probably gonna get a couple fucking bumps and bruises.
Have you applied that logic throughout your whole life?
I got two screws in my knee, fucking from skateboarding, and I'm still out there, 45 years old, fucking pulling the biggest airs I can.
That is a profound, a definite yes, then, huh?
Oh yeah, well, like I said, everybody was like, "All right, we're out of here, and we're going to get the cars." And then I told Johnny, I said, "All right, hey, father son, fucking shirts off party, let's go, boy." And me and him, fucking shirts off, we fucking blasted all the way down to the bottom, no shirts. It was fucking, it was awesome.
Is that's a bro moment every time there's a shirt off? That's right.
Yeah,
It's like
totally. And you
right
know
on.
what's and you know what's fucked up is I wish my oldest son was here because he fucking rips at snowboarding too. And that's it. You know what I mean? Like I got a good bond with my boy, and
Mhm.
he knows when I'm like fucking it's shirts off party, motherfucker, and he's just like, let's go. So
I was impressed by him. He's two things he is. He's impressive and fucking cocky.
he is. Sometimes it's funny just listening to him talk to his clients because he is like so like, man, that tattoo's perfect. Like he's like the biggest fan for himself.
Yeah, I didn't feel too bad though because there were several times I was like, yeah, whatever, whippersnapper. I was reminded of that because you'd be like, who's Shanghai Kate, and he'll say, oh man, I don't know who that is. Like,
Yeah.
yep, cocky little fucker.
Yeah. I
But he was always about that. He was ready to learn, and he wanted to know. So
oh
I can't fault him for any of that knowledge,
yeah.
as long as there's an intention to learn.
It's like one of those things, I mean, like he's been around tattooing his whole entire life, and he's been going to these conventions for fucking his whole entire life.
Oh shit, he's
And
probably met Shanghai and not recognized it.
exactly, and that's what I was just about to say. I'm like, I can almost name 4 conventions that he was a baby at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I do.
It's it's probably it's like one of those things like, oh yeah, that's just that's just the lady that tattoos. You know what I mean? So it's and it, it's hard to sit there and explain to people when you're like for instance, um I know he's met Kate a few times at conventions, and as soon as Kate walks away, and my kid's fucking 6 years old, I'm not going to tell him, you better remember that lady for the rest of your life because she's a legend. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Right.
it's kind of like one of those things like, celebrities don't go around, stroking their friends. They're just their friends.
Right. Telling
Like,
everybody that they're celebrities.
well, like for instance, I'll give you a little scenario. Like, my kids don't look at me as a celebrity.
I'm guessing then you've never hung out with General J from Ink Master.
No, I think I don't.
Okay. Because there is not a bartender you will meet that does not know that we have been on Ink Master.
Yeah. So, like, for instance, it's funny because like my kids, um, I'm just a normal ass dad to them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I'm fucking dad, and they'll have friends that, come over to the house or whatever. And they're like, their kids, like, as soon as they see me, they're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Wait, what the fuck? They're like, that's Clean Rock One. They're like, yeah, that's my dad. They're like, no fucking way. And the kids freaking out. They're like, your dad's fucking Clean Rock One. What the fuck? And then they're like, yeah, he's a normal dude. Like,
Do you ever turn it on then? Because you amp yourself. I just got done watching Grudge Match.
um,
You can get animated. You can turn into the character,
I'm the cool dad, and I'm always like, I feel like, I mean, if I could say so, I think pretty much, I think my kids' friends all love me because, like, when they come over to the house, they'll be in the room, playing video games or whatever, and I'm like, I'll come in, I'll be like, just busting their balls. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a normal ass.
Jesus Christ.
I'm over here like, busting their balls.
Yeah, I got you. Yes, I do.
So the kids are, they're all like, he's not a stuck up daddy, because I mean, dude, honestly, I could think of right now, growing up, my dad and all my buddies' dads, like, they were fucking just miserable. Like, I literally can't remember my dad ever fucking around with my friends. He was
So
always
this is not the experience that you had growing up then, what you're providing for your kids.
my dad. I tell my dad all the time, I'm like, dude, you're the worst dad ever, dude. He's like, well,
No.
you okay. Like, like
He's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I'm fucked up, man. I got a bum.
I've heard some things come out of your mouth that I guess I was a little bit shocked that might be your attitude, but I've never thought ill of you or thought that you have a malicious intent or anything for anybody else or any humanity. You have a
Well,
good
what's
respect for
funny?
life. Mm-hmm.
What's really crazy is, I always, I feel like I'm a genuinely kind person that would go out of my way to help a stranger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny though, because like, maybe my humor and my, just like, me busting people's chops or whatever, people can't take that, I guess, I think.
Yeah,
And
no, they want to fault a lot. They'll be
yeah,
mad because you use the F bomb on the kids in the room who are just
oh,
blowing each other, man. Come on, calm
oh,
down.
dude, yeah, I use the F bomb all day. Like, I feel like there's a big difference, when you're joking around or when you're being fucking mean. And my kids will tell you, they're like, you don't want to see my dad mean. Like, you do not want to see him mean. That dude is a, like, complete psycho. Like, you don't want to see it. He's
You
just
rage
fucking.
out.
You know, so, um, it's weird because, I hear, every once in a while I'll hear like, oh man, Clean's such a fucking asshole. And it's like, well, it's crazy that you would think that I'm an asshole because like if you knew me, I'd give the shirt off my fucking back. And I'm probably one of the most humble fucking tattooers you'll ever fucking meet. I still haven't done a tattoo that I fucking liked.
Well, maybe I have to apologize to you then, because I do believe you're a bit of an asshole, to be honest. But I also believe that there are pretty much only, I mean, when it comes down to basics of humanity, just like Team America, fuck yeah, there are three types of people: pussies, dicks, and assholes. So you're going to be one of them. You are not a pussy, and thank God you're not a dick. You don't go around fucking everything. You
No.
know, you're an asshole. But you know what? Assholes just reveal the truth. And
Well, and
and
that
they're down at that level where they're like, come on, you guys, you pussies and dicks go around acting like you're things that you're not. But deep
well,
down,
that's 100% what I was just about to say is I'm not gonna fucking lie to nobody. And I know a lot of times when you are telling the truth, people don't want to hear the truth and they don't like the truth and they want you to lie to them. So and
you can't stand the truth.
so here's a funny story. Funny fucking story. So this guy comes into my tattoo shop quite a bit. Well, this was back in the early or late 90s, maybe 99, 2000, somewhere around there. And he's become friends with one of the guys that works at my shop, right? And I'm
Yes.
still kind of old school, you know what I mean? So when you come into the tattoo shop and you're hounding for information and wanting to be a tattooer and this and that, like I'm like
Uh-huh. You're
I'm
giving
like,
them a hard time at all, or what?
well, he basically what I found out was that my guy that worked for me was getting this guy supplies.
Right.
It's in the dryer. So he was getting this guy supplies so that he could tattoo out of his house.
Right. Right.
Total
Not
fuck, total no. I was like, no,
yeah.
dude, no. I said, I hear you do that shit one more time. I said, you're fucking done, bro. Like you're out. Like that's not cool. So
No,
the kid,
and for context for any listeners that you might think that's a dick move on their part, like you're looking out at least for your community, right?
yeah,
Like you're keeping diseases down and bad tattoos off of their children.
yeah. Open the door. Hey, shut the door. Shut the door.
Shit to do,
So
motherfuckers.
so so basically what happened was this guy comes in and he has a bunch of photos of these tattoos that he had done, right? And
Now he wants a job. No?
no, he wasn't showing them to me because he knew that I wasn't about to deal with it. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I wasn't helping him. He knew that I wasn't trying to help him because I felt like he needed to go through an apprenticeship, or if you're going to be a part of the team, well, there's dues to pay. You don't
Yeah.
just get to reap the benefits, you know, by just coming in, grabbing supplies, and then going and tattooing people. So I was so he brought in these photos. The photos were terrible. I mean, I'm talking these are the worst tattoos ever. So I see that I come in. Here's I walk in and he's kind of standing there talking to the guy, and I look at the tattoos and I'm like, who did these? And he's like, oh, I did those. And
With
then
pride in his mouth, with his voice, right?
yeah, pretty much. So then I said, oh, really? You're tattooing out your house, huh? And he's like, yeah. So I ripped up the photos right in front of him.
Uh-huh.
So I ripped them up and I said, get the fuck out of my shop and don't fucking come back in ever again. And he's like, what? And then I remember my guy that worked for me was like, hey, man, you can't do that. And I said, oh, really? I said,
You,
so I just did. And what the fuck are you going to do about it? Like, do you want a job still? Because I know you feed your family with this fucking job, but instead you already know that this isn't cool, So anyhow,
yeah, your mind won't let you see. Now in the same situation, somebody that wasn't a cowboy, whose mind would let them do things to let people think they were right, would say, well, check it out. What you're actually doing is fucking up our community, our ability to make money, and you're actually giving this guy a feeling of legitimacy that he
Yeah,
doesn't deserve yet because he is fucking those people up in just that fashion.
yeah, and nobody's
But in,
guiding.
yeah, no
Nobody.
one's got, but
He's
instead that you're like cowboy it up. You're like, fuck you. You want your job still? Because it's pretty, okay.
yeah. So basically, um, time goes by, and that guy, once he found out that, like, hey, this isn't that cool, but he's like, oh, well, you know, you're a fucking asshole.
You
Um,
mean by that guy, you mean the artist working for you that was helping,
no, no, no.
like,
The guy,
oh.
the artist that was working for me, kind of was like, he shut his mouth and was like, okay, I fucked up, like whatever. But
Right.
dude was like, basically like, I'm sure him and that dude fucking sucked each other's dicks in the fucking parking lot, and we're like, oh my god, fucking, he's such a dick. Oh my god, I can't believe he did that. Let's roll this joint and fucking talk about it. Um, well, anyhow, like the kid took it on himself, knowing that what I said is don't fucking come around anymore, go anymore. So what did he do? He worked harder, ended up getting a job at a shop and doing it the right way,
Yeah.
and now he's a successful tattooer. And now me and him are cool.
Yes.
And
But in
now,
that process, he had to pay the dues that you were worried about him trying to
yeah,
circumvent.
well, now he gets it,
Mhm.
because he understands why I did that. And at first he was like, "Oh, you're such a fucking asshole." Ugh. But now he is sharing the same value that I have. Don't give every motherfucker on the street a fucking handbook on how to do this shit. Make them
And with
fucking
that,
make them
what do you
take.
think about TV shows that explain these things now?
Okay, so here's an example with that. When I was on Ink Master, I specifically told them, I'm not here to teach people how to fucking tattoo. They would ask me technical questions all the time, and I would give them a fucking straight up TV answer. Like if they were like, "Oh, how did you do that?" "Oh, I lined oh, how did you get that outline so crisp?" "Oh, I used a 35 mag." "Oh, how did you get those lines? How did you get those lines fucking so super crisp?" "Oh, I just tattooed with no rubber bands." And they came in, they asked me
Eh,
all the time. We did these micro tats one time, and I watered down my black,
uh-huh.
and they came and they were like, "Hey, why did you water down that black?" I said, "Well, wait." I said, "I'll tell you as soon as the cameras are off. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and tell you fucking tricks of the trade on fucking national TV. I'm not trying to teach
Right.
people." And if you honestly think that TV is teaching anybody how to tattoo, I mean, that show isn't teaching shit. Maybe some maybe some artsy fartsy fucking this and that, but maybe
I
what
think
to look for in a
it's
good tattoo.
it's definitely building interest in the industry, and I see we see the effects both on more artists and more clients.
Well, yeah. I mean, people are acknowledging fucking what a good tattoo is for sure. But it's definitely not fucking teaching anybody fucking how to pull lines and how to fucking pack color and how to fucking saturate. Maybe it's making them more aware of,
No, that's YouTube's job.
yeah, maybe it's making them more aware of, like, oh damn, my tattoos fucking that I got on me from Stinky Pete down the street actually suck really bad.
Yes. Yeah, I get a lot of people that ask more, I've never been one to cut down a tattoo that's in front of me too much, but I sometimes someone's showing you something and you don't want to shit on it because they have pride involved. But now people will press back a little bit more when you give them just as you said, a TV answer. You say like, "Oh yeah, I like it a lot. Do you like it?" Then you start, and they can tell that you're like doing the ugly baby thing where you just ask about, "Oh, what a cute
Yeah,
bow. I love how you have them dressed." You know,
yeah.
so they can sniff that out, and then they start asking now more poignant questions like, "Well, do you think he fucked up the shading? Isn't it a little dark? And these lines, is that what a blown out line looks like?" And
Well,
like, "Oh, you've been watching TV."
what I tell people all the time, because they'll sit and talk shit about fucking Ink Master and all the fucking crappy tattoos that are done on it and blah 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 blah. And I said, and I'm like, and I explained to him, I said, and you know what? All of those tattoos are fucking fine. And they're like, no, they're not. They're so fucked up. Blah blah. I said, well, you know what's fucked? What's more fucked up is there's people paying for those tattoos every day in a tattoo shop somewhere fucking in the world.
Yeah.
Like,
And worse sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact is even if the tattoo is fucking amazing, the judges still have to fucking find something to say about it, which of course, you put one good tattoo next to another good tattoo and you're like, oh, the hair is terrible on this one compared to that one, even though the hair is probably better than 90% of the tattooing that's being done in America. People are still gonna fucking be like, oh, well, you messed up the hair in that tattoo. Oh my God. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
And people will, if I'm not wrong, imagine that there was something at play conspiratorial at the drop of a heartbeat. And they imagine if there's enough people believing that, then there must be more truth to it.
Oh, I mean, look at the fucking Buddha that me and Aaron did on season 9. We did it 100% correctly how it's supposed to be done, true to 99% of every traditional fucking statue ever made in the world.
Right.
But
broken thumbs look like broken thumbs to them.
They can
thumbs out or something.
Yeah, they convinced America that, or well, we'll just say the world because it's worldwide, but they convinced the world that the thumbs are messed up because that's what fucking color they wanted to, hate on that day.
Well, but the sculptures themselves have funky thumbs. Am I wrong?
100%. I went to Japan and I literally took pictures of every single Buddha I could find, and
dude,
I
are you that bitter about it? That's a pricey plane flight just to prove your point.
Well, no, I was over there.
Okay.
I even asked the guy that was at a temple, and I even said, I didn't say, hey, are the thumbs supposed to be like that? I asked him, why are the thumbs like that? And he gave me some long thought out,
right,
whatever about it. I was like, oh,
right.
So they're supposed to be like that. And he's like, yes. And I'm like, ah. And I remember I got it on video and I tagged Oliver in it because he was the one that was hating. And
right, them thumbs is wrong.
Yeah, and I remember tagging everybody, and it's just so funny because once the dishes are done and that's put out into society,
that's what you got.
That's what those are the cards I have to deal with. So I have half the fans that believe my side of the story, and half the fans that believe their side of the story, and it is what it is. And
I can't fault you about it. On my website, I have a video that has Nunez saying, "What the fuck? These cherry blossoms are coming right off of the trunk. There's no stem to them." And then I have a video of real cherry blossoms and how they blossom straight up off of the fucking trunk. So I'm bitter too. I didn't fly to Japan, but I did learn a little bit of edit. I had to, take a crash course in editing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of like one of those things. Like, so if you had a branch coming up on the backside of the tree that you can't see, that hooked backwards just at the right angle of the photograph to where
I like where you're going,
to where it comes to the front side of the tree that you can see, but you can't see the stem. But
that's where it's at.
But it's right in the middle of the trunk, and you just, and that's
you give a lot of leeway with artistic license. I appreciate that about you.
And that's exactly what's in the contracts every time we do a tattoo or flash challenge, that it is judges and production discretion,
highly subjective opinion of the judges, right?
Whatever color they're hating on, they could be hating blue that day, and whatever narrative they're trying to or whatever they want to achieve, they can use that to determine. So like if they're like, Okay.
Nunez told me the girl, I did a Victorian girl with a high forehead, as Victorian women used to shave their forehead. And he told me the hairline's just way too high.
Yeah.
The color they want to paint with but we end up with a show. Now, I would imagine huge conspiracy. However, you're saying, I believe, one that, and you would know because you shot Grudge Match. So you've got a season of kind of behind the scenes ideas of working with the story writers
Well,
and the editors.
I can go ahead and tell you this. When I
Mhm.
was a judge on Grudge Match, there's some tattooers that were on that, and I don't want to get any names and ruffle feathers.
Oh,
But
damn, that's what this podcast for. No, I'm kidding. Go on, brother.
so we go ahead and these tattooers have to come on and they have to do these tattoos, right? Remind you,
Competition head to head.
we're all friends, right?
Yes. We
So
see each other a lot.
yeah, we're all friends. We're all in the same industry. We all go to the same conventions. We're all doing the same things. So we're me being a judge. I'm presented with this tattoo that I have to judge and critique. And I was honestly, I was obviously trying to fucking ham it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Gordon Ramsay it a little bit. And it's hard to do that with your friends because they're your friends, and
Right.
you still want to continue being friends afterwards. But at the same time, you really want to make a good TV show, and you also want to deal the truth. And
Yeah.
I'm all about the truth, and I get it. People don't want to hear the truth because guess what? That makes you an asshole, right?
Makes you an
So,
asshole, guaranteed. Yeah.
so there's these tattoos that are being done on this show, and I'm like, dude, this is the worst shit I've ever seen. And we're behind stage. It's me, the other two judges, and the producers. And I'm like, dude, this is the worst shit I've ever seen. Like, I can't even believe that this tattoo is a professional tattoo. Like, holy shit, they fucked up.
Oh,
They dropped the ball. Like, they really dropped the ball. And
right.
like, all right, they're like, well, what are you gonna say? And I'm like, well, I'm gonna go out there and fucking tell them that this shit sucks and that it's the worst shit. And like, they need to rethink their fucking tattooing abilities. Like, what the hell, you know?
And, and
And
yeah.
so, what does the production say? Well, the production, they're kind of on the same page as us. They're friends with them and they don't want to piss anybody off. And this and that. And they're like, look, we don't want to ruin anybody's careers. So
Right.
maybe we won't show the tattoo so close up that you can see the big giant trenches and the shoot upness and the blowouts and the just
Now by
absolute.
production, you mean high up production, not just the assistants and stuff. You must
No, no,
mean
I'm
everybody in the
talking like
room,
I'm
in
talking about
control
I'm
room.
talking about the producer, like the
Hmm.
main
Yep.
the main broad. You know her name.
Andrea.
Yes,
Are we allowed to say it? I
Andrea.
think
Yeah,
so.
Andrea.
Oh, did I
So
get it wrong? I called her Andrea.
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 Yeah.
Man, that's why she don't like me no more.
So
Anyways, big producer girl. She used to run a lot of stuff. I think she was with Real World and Survivor, both.
yeah, she did a bunch of them. So she's just kind of like telling me to ease back a little bit because the people that were doing these fucked up tattoos are kind of, they're kind of fan favorites for the show
Oh
as
man.
well. So I'm like, dude, what? Like, okay, so you want me to like not and just say, yeah, okay, all right, you messed up a little bit, but it's cool, instead of like being brutally honest. So I feel like the narrative can go any which way they want it to go at any given time.
You feel as though then just as easily as they liked and respected these people, there may be cases where they're like, yeah, well, fuck this guy. You got a point, and let's go ahead and tie him to a cross.
I Yeah, I think there's plenty of scenarios that There's sacrificial cow, and there's the okay, let's uh this guy's not giving us really good reality TV, but he's doing decent enough tattoos, but somebody's got to go. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
So
I feel like that when I saw Chris Vale go one time. He was like, I was like, was he just too quiet?
yeah,
I think I may be saying this wrong. I think it might be Valelas.
I don't know. I don't watch the show. I've only seen the seasons I've been on.
Yeah.
For real. Like I haven't seen season one. I've never seen season two. I've never seen three. Never seen four.
No, I think we actually talked about that the first time I met you was after I was on the show. We had dinner in Vegas at one point. Um, I don't know if it was Joey was trying to get you on the show or something like that. You might have already been talking with the producers. But you know what? I do want to go back and talk a bit of. I'm kind of geeking out a little bit on Ink Masters, I guess, and maybe not too much for people listening. But I kind of want to geek out on being able to talk to you now. So far in the future from where I started tattooing, and looking at your drawings in Flash magazine and tattoo publications, Paisano publications. Seems like you were in those things every week. And it was something with your name in it half the time. It was like you or Albie Rock. And
Oh yeah.
I had, like, you guys did the coolest stuff. Amazing. You were making like 25 bucks on those images or something sometimes. What?
No, you never. I never got anything.
No,
Never got anything.
I thought there was payment. So you would do full page pieces sometimes.
Oh, I would. You would only get paid if you got your flash in the magazine. I think. Like
Yes,
remember
yes,
the
that's what I mean. Now, I'm not just talking about your tattoos, man.
yeah the
Like people like
tattoo.
me who are trying so hard to break into it. We needed drawings, and you couldn't
Yeah,
go
yeah,
take a picture with your camera or go Google stuff.
yeah. The
So
the tattoo flash. I believe they paid you a couple bucks for the actual drawings, but not for the pictures. If that was the case, man, I would have quit tattooing, man, because I was in those motherfuckers every goddamn week. Like every month, fucking something come out, and I'm like, cha-ching. I had a whole stack. I mean, that thing was up to my thigh of
no,
mag.
that's what I was asking. I was wondering how much you made off of those then, because we imagined that you were making. And we're like, man, I wonder if he's churning these things out enough
Nah,
that he isn't even tattooing.
that was only the flash. The flash that was in the back of the magazines made cash, and I didn't have too many of those. I had a few, but it was
Right.
just It was just the tattoos.
How long you been tattooing, Cleen?
I started tattooing out of my house in 1995, and I made some homemade stuff that I started tattooing with, and then
What was it? A guitar string kind of thing, or?
I'm pretty crafty, so it looked like something that you could basically buy in a store. So it was I took a stainless steel mechanical pencil, and I had already been into tattoos. Like I'd already been getting tattooed since I was 16. And I knew how to do a tattoo from start to finish before I even picked up a tattoo machine, just from going to the tattoo shop and watching everything that was being done.
How many tattoos did you have? Or it was from watching as well, that you were just
Yes.
hanging out in the shop?
So I would go to the tattoo shop. I got my first tattoo when I was 16.
Indiana, or is it Illinois?
Illinois, Elgin, Illinois.
Okay.
I got a little tattoo on my wrist from Ray's Tattoos. Tom, Ray's son, did the tattoo on me. And as soon as I brought him a drawing, and he went in the back and made the acetate. Watched him kind
Oh
of.
my God! Wait, it wasn't even a stencil, like
Nope.
a
This is
thermofax.
acetate.
He carved an acetate like X-Acto knife or something, or had one.
Yeah. This was 19. This was 19. What? 93, 92.
Oh my God! I didn't know that they would still be using acetate that late.
Well, I mean, you figure some dudes are old school, because when I
Right.
got the tattoo, they had just started wearing gloves.
Right.
and
Right.
they were bitching about it, right? So,
Yeah.
and also they had a fucking when I went there, they had um um an ultrasonic, the big one with the plexiglass top with the holes in it, and they had
Yeah. To drop the
six or
cups
seven.
into.
No. This had like 6 or 7 machines in it, in the whole, and I'm talking little holes where the tube would just
Yeah.
go in.
Okay. To
And
reuse the tube, you mean?
reuse the tube and the needle,
Oh my
and
God.
they pulled it. They pulled the machine. I remember watching them pull the machine out.
Is that how you got tattooed?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
Out of like basically a barber saw the
yep,
tattoo round table of
yep,
fungus and hepatitis, huh?
yep. And they pulled and they wiped it off. And I remember he filled up 3 cups. He had one with some kind of weird chemical that he poured out of a gallon into it, and these are just little plastic Dixie cup
Dixie
size.
cups. Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little smaller. Like, I mean, they're like shot glasses, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And he had one that had some kind of liquid that he put in there that was from a
Please,
gallon, and then the
please
other
tell
one,
me one of them was bleach, right?
who knows? I mean, I don't think he was tattooed. No, because he used it to tattoo me as well when he was tattooing.
Oh, fuck. Well,
So
let's hope it wasn't bleach then.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
but
this is good for highlights. It might sting a little.
yeah. So yeah, so I remember he did the first tattoo on me, and from that day I was like, I can do this shit all day. And honestly, I could probably do it better than this guy.
Right.
Judging by his drawings that were in his station, I was like, I was a little graffiti kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I can draw and shade is just as good as this guy. And he's taking $60 from me right now. I can do this.
Right.
So
You could be putting that into a skateboard or something.
yeah, yeah. So basically, I got tattooed at 16, and every buck I got, I ran back and got tattooed. I was getting tattooed. I got that tattoo on my wrist when I was
Were you
16.
purposely getting different kinds of tattoos to learn different techniques, or just
Mm,
excited about the whole thing?
Not so much techniques, more like just whatever's kind of punk rock at the time. And like, I got a big tribal on my ribs. And my buddy was like, oh, that's the most painful place to get tattooed, blah, blah, blah. And, I really wanted to go to this other tattoo shop in town, Doc Finn's. They were known for doing big body suits. Doc Finn invented the Swiss cheese tattoo.
Oh,
That's his claim to fame. He
like
said,
the background with the many different
like,
semicircle or circles.
yeah, like the biker, like the Swiss cheese where it's like getting pulled apart and there's,
Yeah,
you know,
I
skulls coming
remember
out of it.
loving it. That
Yeah,
was
so
the newest, hottest shit for a while there.
he claims he was the first one to start doing that back in the 70s. And so when I wanted to get tattooed, I tried to get tattooed there, but in Illinois the law was 21.
Oh wow.
So you had to find somebody that would let you do a parental consent. And they were going to allow me to get tattooed over there at 18 with my buddy's consent, because my buddy said that I was his brother, and that he'd already been getting tattooed there and things were cool, blah blah blah. Well, when I went there to go, I accidentally wrote down 16 and they kicked me out, so I was scared to go back.
Right.
But they were
So now you got to
but
get
they were
tattooed by the bad tattoo shop.
well, they weren't the bad tattoo shop, but they were definitely the biker tattoo shop that was a little bit more shady. You know what I mean? Probably not as
Mm-hmm.
professional, but same kind of
Did
deal.
Doc Finn use an ultrasonic cleaner or autoclave?
They probably did both. I mean, throughout time,
Those
but
highfalutin guys probably used an autoclave.
I know for a fact that um, Doc Finn used those guys used straight razors to shave you up until like, sometime in the late 90s. And I remember one of the guys used to work there, came to work for me when I opened my shop up in town. And he was telling me a story about how he filleted this guy's whole fucking shin with a straight razor. And he was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." He's like, "I'll tell you what, I'll do the tattoo on your other leg for free." So he ended up he was gonna put something on the guy's shin, and he ended up having to do it on the other guy's leg because he filleted it with the fucking straight razor. He
Guy
said he
walks
just
out with
peeled it like,
duct tape in his shin, huh?
yeah, he just peeled. He said he peeled the whole shin off like an apple. So,
It's
but
amazing
yeah,
that
so
you've been in it this long, really. You're actually younger than me, and you've started that far back.
yeah. I pretty much I started in '95, and I'm 45 now, and yeah, basically once I started tattooing, it just basically consumed me. I tell people all the time, because I get these guys that want, they work for me and whatnot. And
Mhm.
when I started tattooing in 1995, I started in my house. I got a job at a shop as the apprentice, which my apprenticeship lasted 2 days. And I
Well, we'll get back to that.
yeah,
Go
so
on.
I basically didn't have a weekend off from 1995 till probably 2000. I might have maybe taken a weekend off. Yeah, so pretty much probably about 2000. I worked every single weekend, Friday and Saturday. Those were your busy days. Those were,
Yeah.
you might not tattoo on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but you pretty much guaranteed to do something on Friday and Saturday, and you stayed there till all hours of the night. You stayed there till sometimes the bars closed, and it was a different,
Hoping to get that straggler.
well, it was a different beast back then. You know what I mean? Like there was it, like nobody relied on like appointments. Like you're like, oh, well, I have an appointment to come in. Like it wasn't like that. Guys came in and they had a bunch of money in their hand because nobody took fucking credit cards and shit. Like they would come in and they're like, "Hey, I want to get this," and they'd flip through the books, and sometimes you'd have to draw it. But like when I started getting better into tattooing, we did start making appointments then. Um, but
Well, you're still
in the
somewhat like that now. Am I wrong?
in the
You'd rather not almost set appointments.
no, I like to set appointments. But I don't take deposits
What the fuck?
because I haven't taken a deposit for a tattoo in fucking years.
How does that work? That leaves you sitting
Well,
on your hands a lot or not?
never. I usually when people book my an appointment with me, they're like so happy to get the appointment. You know what I mean? Like
They're
I
going to
feel like
show up.
they're okay. So there's a few downfalls to my popularity and to my existence in tattooing. One being people think that I am so fucking high up on the food chain and I'm so fucking amazing and blah 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 that there's no way in hell they'll ever even get an appointment, so they don't even try. Right?
Pretty woman syndrome or pretty girl syndrome. Can't get a date because no one asks.
Exactly. And also they think that for whatever reason that my tattoos are the best thing they've ever seen since fucking sliced bread, that they're so expensive that they'd never ever be able to afford it.
You have
So
a very reasonable rate. If sometimes I think it's too cheap. If I'm, you gave away a tattoo this weekend, didn't you? You weren't happy with it. It's an awesome looking tattoo. You weren't happy
yeah,
with the color choice or something.
I just I was having some fucking bullshit going on with my girlfriend, and I was in just a fucking terrible mood. I was just not I was just being a fucking little bitch, really. Because,
Clean as a bitch sometimes.
well, you know what it
I'm
was
glad to hear it.
is I I thrive on a lot of other people's energy, and I was super pumped to be there, fucking tattooing my son. And it means a lot to me that I get to fucking work with my boy, and I was so happy, just to fucking be there, hanging out and doing this. And then what do I got? I got some girl basically just fucking just fucking being just destroying fucking our relationship on her, you know what I mean? And then wanting me to be cool with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I was not aware, and I probably should shut up about it and
Yeah.
leave you to that. Holy
So
fuck! No, I didn't know, but I got you.
okay, so to put it into perspective, or just whatever. So Friday, I had tattoos to do, and I was so fucking pissed off. And I'm a chill cucumber. I don't try to bring drama to fucking nothing, and I'm not gonna fucking. I could have, should have, would have. If I could do it all again, I probably should have just kicked her out and told her get on a fucking plane and don't let me ever see you again. I just leave and just be done. But I don't like to argue. I don't like to fight. I don't want to make shit fucking weird. So I said, you know what? I just ignored her. But with doing that, it just made me like not want to sit there and do my
Be
job.
around. Well, your boy was kicking ass all weekend.
Yeah, he crushed.
That's why you weren't there.
And that
Now it makes some sense, I guess.
he was there tattooing, and that makes me happy. That him fucking tattooing, getting down, and just doing his thing. That to me is like fucking amazing. So
Did you
yeah,
ever think you would when I mean when you've got two kids, right?
yep, two boys.
Did you ever think either of them would grow up to pursue art in any way?
Um, I mean, Johnny's always kind of been my mini me. Like my oldest is pretty much like his mom's kind of.
Mini
He kind
me?
Yeah, he kind of has her demeanors, and he kind of has her personality and temper, and you know attitude sometimes. And Johnny literally, like, I mean, we both fucking skate the same way, we both draw the same way, he looks like me, like literally I'm just like he drinks a fucking a soda bottle like the same. It's really odd. And his mom is just like, oh my god, you were like your dad's twin, crazy. So just just me sitting back watching him tattooing is a blast. You know what I mean? I couldn't be more pumped.
I think I got to see that. It was honestly it was fun for us too. Uh, liked seeing his success a little bit less the more I talked to him, see how cocky he was about it. But but loved seeing it because man, he was smooth with it, with just saying, "Hey, I'm open for this." He knew what questions to pose to them and then how to answer them and to be engaged with them the whole time. He was really building clientele. He was the kind of, as a former tattoo shop owner, he was the kind of artist that you're like, yeah, I'd like to hire that kid.
Yeah, yeah. He's got a lot of potential. And that's things that I taught him. You know what I mean? I tell him all the time. I'm like, if you're gonna be one of these tattoo guys that shows up to a convention and sits in your booth with your head down and doesn't talk to every person that walks by, well then go home. Don't even bother doing a tattoo convention. You know what I mean? Like how many times have you
Yeah. What's
heard
what's the point?
like how many times have you heard from clients that are like, man, I've walked by and fucking nobody even wants to talk to me. Like these guys are sitting in their booths and they look at you and then they like turn around. Like they don't want to talk to you. It's like, and they're not doing anything. It's like, well,
Right.
it is.
I think a lot of artists don't know how to reach out. They feel an amount of judgment from that person, and they have a hard time putting themselves in the client's perspective of being too scared to say, "I want this," to somebody with like blacked out eyes and tattoos all over their face and
Yeah.
wearing all black. They're like some soccer mom comes in looking for her basketball with a million different letters inside of it, for every teammate member or something.
Yeah.
That was this weekend, literally. But
Yeah, I think at some point tattooers have to start taking responsibility instead of, just saying, "Oh, well this because I've been there. I've seen it a billion times. People are like, "Oh, don't do that show, it sucks. Don't do this show, it sucks. Don't do this show, it sucks." It's like, well, maybe it's not the show that sucks. Maybe it's your personality, your demeanor, and your salesmanship. Because I worked the same exact show you did, and I showed up with no clients. And I'll tell you right now, I was turning people away because I had people telling me that nobody wanted to talk to them. You know,
no,
so
there's we were hustle. We have to hustle when and some people kind of do it, and some don't, and they don't seem to think the tattooing on the road is for them.
yeah, no, that's true, 100%. I believe
They
you
they need all the comforts of home and all that.
for sure. I believe that 100%.
Oh well, what can we do? Tell me this grudge match. How you saw behind the scenes,
Yep.
but this all happened during COVID.
No, no, it was before COVID.
Okay,
It
only
was
one
only
season.
before,
What was the
yeah.
interest? The drop off? Why didn't they want you back?
Well, here's the bullshit with fucking that whole shit show. So they got a spin-off show. It was fucking pretty rad. I thought it was cool. Um, they didn't want me to Gordon Ramsay it and ham it up, because I know how to turn it on. You know what I mean? I'm all about some acting. And they didn't want me to turn it on because they kind of wanted to, they said, well, let's save that for next season. Let's just get through this one and blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's your baby. Do what you got to do. Um, so then,
Well, you guys still seem animated. There's times I was watching
oh yeah,
TJ. He looked like he was about to break down and start backspin or something. I'm like, is he a b-boy? Does he know breakdancing?
I don't know. Yeah,
Were they telling you guys to move with your hands at all? I felt like
yeah.
this was an actor thing that you must have been told.
Nah, we're just trying to do our thing. So
Meanwhile, they're back
the
there telling you to calm down.
yeah, yeah. So the show, we did the show. I really hated the fact that they named it Grudge Match, since the last episode or the last season, season 11, was named Grudge Match. So now people have no clue when I'm talking about it. I'm like, yeah, remember that, we had a whole season called Grudge Match. They're like, yeah, season 11. I'm like, no, it's a whole different season. It's a whole different show. And they're like,
Right.
what do you mean? And I'm like, I don't know why they called it that, but they did. It is what
No,
it
you
is.
can't Google it. You need to go to my IMBD.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. So basically, we did the show. Everything was fucking good. There was talk about pulling us back for another season, and then to having another one because it did pretty fairly decent, I guess. And then, boom, Oliver gets hit with the fucking blackface fucking bullshit. And then after he did that, they basically every week when our show season, whatever, I don't know, whatever season it happened on, what was that, 13?
I think it was 13. Yes.
So every episode that aired, our show would air right after. Well,
Oh, geez.
so by
That's a
that,
death. So that's just a death blow to you, pretty much,
every,
really.
yeah, everybody already boycotted Ink Master. Every
Right.
week they would talk shit about it. Don't watch this shit. Well, why the hell is Oliver still on the TV? He got kicked off. Oh, well, the editing was already done, 6 months prior. You know what I mean?
Right.
So people don't realize that. They think it's filmed live or filmed like that week. Like that's how stupid they are. But that basically just kind of sealed the deal for another season of us because the show got canceled and then so did we. So is what it is.
A little racist Ollie fucking everything up.
Yeah, that guy, he's not racist.
You know him pretty well. I don't
Yeah.
really know him that well, but boy, is it fun to call him that sometimes after sitting through some of his judgments. I don't know that he's racist. What he did was certainly stupid. Did you feel you got canceled then in some regard, uh, along with Ollie?
Canceled as far as the whole show goes. Yeah, because the whole show wasn't coming back at all.
Well, just that, yeah, I guess, I mean, you're not on this season of Ink Master as a judge. They're not calling you back for this, for another rendition of Grudge Judge, yet it being a success. Do you think they're kind of just killing that because you represent, I mean, if you're on the show and you're looking at the dynamics of the characters, the three of you from Grudge Judge, or was it Grudge Match? From the Grudge Match, have you're the male dominant of the sort. You follow me? Tambi might be intellectual and artsy, but obviously, oh shoot, what's her name? Well, she's the feminine one,
Ryan Ashley.
right? And
Yep.
at the time, you got your sleeves ripped off. We're wearing cowboy shirts and stuff, right? So
Yep.
this is this kind of makes sense that that's a cast, and that's not a character that they're
I'm
probably going to run with in any way associated with Ink Master now.
yeah, I'm a white boy and I'm not gonna change that. I'm fucking it is what it is. I'm not I'm patriotic. I love America. I fucking
America.
I'm not fucking vaccinated. I would never get vaccinated. I think they knew that from the fucking you know,
Oh, you couldn't work without being vaccinated then either.
yep,
I'm
exactly.
imagining because you got to go to Canada as well.
Exactly. And Canada
Wouldn't
is
get vaccinated. You got your hepatitis vaccine or your whooping cough.
no, who knows? I didn't choose to take it.
You were in the army at one point.
Never in the army.
Okay. I remember we were talking about you about to go to jail at one point for or possibly go to the army, and we were at Philly, so it was a fuck of a time to try and get a full story out.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, I took the ASVAB test. I failed it. I was supposed to go to jail for 3 years, but instead, I was going to the army,
Hmm.
and I was working on taking the test. My recruiter basically talked to the judge and told him as soon as he graduates high school, his ass is ours. And the judge said, "All right, cool. Your ass is going to the army." Blah blah blah. Well, then shortly after that, I ended up blowing my knee out, and then the army wouldn't take me. I was like, "Wait a minute." I'm like,
Right,
"Don't you
because
have?"
now you're going to be a full lifetime liability of paying for that knee. Once you go to the VA.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. So I never even made it into the. They wouldn't even take me. They wouldn't even let me take the test. They said there's no way you're going to even make it through boot camp. Why would you even
How
try?
did that affect your court then? Did you
I
still
was on
get
I was on 5 years probation, and once I got done with the court thing, everything was fine. I never had to look back once the case was done. Once they dropped once I got done with the court,
was
everything was
held
fine.
in abeyance or something? Are you still a felon?
No. I got pretrial diversion, so I never got felony
Okay.
charges.
All right. Nice. Very good.
That's what basically the my recruiter was there for, telling him, hey, if you give him a felony, we can't take him. So
Right.
so the
Man, kind of, I don't know, was blowing your knee out a good thing? I imagine you still could have found tattooing pretty easily. You were already tattooing, right?
no, I wasn't tattooing at this point. I blew my knee out, and since I blew my knee out, I was kind of I couldn't go out and do graffiti anymore because that's what I was doing every day. That was my hobby. That was my basically my job. And I couldn't, so I had to like just sit at home and basically just scribble in my black book.
Right. Did these things become tattoos?
um I mean, I was still doing graffiti stuff, and once I started tattooing, I hated all the graffiti guys because artistically they all would show up with their drawings, and they wanted you to tattoo their drawings. They wanted you to tattoo, how they would do it on, and how they would
Right.
all. And I'm
Like
like,
you were
dude,
just you were just a tool. And they're like, no, 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 like this. And then we're going to spot up. You know how you turn the can upside down?
Yeah. Well, and then on top of that, it was just they were very hard to do, and then none of them had any money. So I was like, I'm like, you guys are trying to get this big colorful graffiti piece that's got 13 colors in the damn thing, and it's gonna, you
Right.
know, take forever. And I'm over here just learning, and they didn't have any money, And I was like, wait a second, this construction guy wants a tribal armband, and he's got money, like, yeah,
You can
bro.
buy a lot more Krylon with tribal.
Yeah, well, I blew my knee out, so and then on top of that, we used to steal the paint. You know what I mean? So I was like, once I started tattooing, it basically, because after I went through court too, I was like, I had to go do a lot of fucking, I had to go do a lot of probation. I had to go, or not probation. I had to go do a lot of community service. I had to pay back a lot of fines. I had to go to these fucking businesses, and I had to. This is on top of everything, like I had to go to businesses that basically we vandalized, and I had to.
Oh, do restitution kind of acts.
Yeah, and basically I had to tell them, they got a letter from my probation officer stating, or a call saying, hey, this kid we got the guy that did all your damage, and he's gonna come and work at your place to do it. And a lot of those people fucking took full advantage,
I was wondering.
full full advantage. I mean, I'm talking
Would they tell
these.
you they're going to write to the judge or something?
Oh yeah, they literally, like, I mean, nobody treated me fucked up, because I was, I wouldn't allow that. But like,
All
they're
right.
like, well, we need this whole building painted. Yeah, because that, to get rid of that burner that you did on that little throw up you did on the side of the building, it cost 20 grand. And it's like,
Right.
they're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We had to have the pressure washer come out, and that was $3,000. And then we had to have a brick guy come out, and he had to re acid
Mortar or
wash the
something. Hmm.
so
Yeah, yeah.
that
You
was
got to
like
use hydrochloric acid on that stuff.
five grand. And then the time spent, and that, it was, dude, it was terrible. It was the worst.
So what
And then
they
for my community service, right? So this was
mm,
just restitution that I had to do at a bunch of businesses. And, they'd have me go out there and fucking pick weeds and do
right.
landscaping, double gravel, and I was pretty handy, so they had me fucking glazing windows, and had me fucking cleaning ductwork, like, just all kinds of shit. That was, I was up on top of a roof in the middle of fucking August.
Did you make any relationships out of that? Like people you still talk to today, or that you at least were friends with afterwards?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay. So check it out. So I did paint the back of the building that turned into my um, tattoo shop. Right?
Awesome. Yeah. Would
No,
you
it was
afford that must have been your landlord too, or not?
yes. He was one of the ones that took full advantage of making shit. I had to.
What made you think you should rent from this guy? It seems like you should have learned that one.
Okay. So what happened was I was doing graffiti everywhere, right? And there was this rooftop, and I went and painted the whole fucking rooftop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then what?
What'd you put on it? Do you recall?
Clean. I would write Clean Rock one. So then I got fucking caught up. I got wrapped up. So they went around, and they fucking basically found every fucking piece of fucking, it was so,
Clean
yeah, they found everything
tag, and that you were guilty of all of them.
pretty much. I got out of a lot of them, but the main ones, the heavy ones, because it would get real foggy, and we would go out and do like these crazy, like we would go do crazy spots, like we would do the police station, or across the street from the police station, and go hit these crazy buses when it was so foggy that you couldn't see 5 feet in front of you. You know what I mean?
That would
So,
feel awesome though, wouldn't it? Because it's like you own the night, right? You can just
and
disappear.
yeah, and then as soon as the fucking sun fucking comes up in the morning, they're like, "What the fuck?" So
Did you always have visions of people waking up to shock like that? Like
well,
like a TP'd house, but better?
you know, I
You
have a
didn't
lot.
put clean on the police station. No, you put clean on. You did, didn't you?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. So so we did his building, and then I had to go back, and I had to fucking cover it up.
Yeah.
But now he's looking at us as, so you guys are artists, huh? Okay.
Right. Some kind of useful tool, maybe.
I don't want you to just paint the bricks white like they were. I want a mural. I want a fucking pool table with fucking pool balls and shit on it.
Dogs playing cards around it.
No, he didn't. It wasn't that crazy, but I ended up painting this giant pool. It was like, it was a remind you, just say we'll say 40 foot by, let's say 40 foot by, 12 foot, right? That's how big this wall is.
It's
Remind
good
you,
size.
I did like a decent fucking burner that's probably 5 foot by 10 foot, right? So that you can see it when you drive by.
Why do you call it a burner?
Because it was pretty like just like a little throw up. It was pretty fast,
Okay.
just like bubble letters, like really fast, and then quickly filled in.
Okay. Right
Right.
on. So a
So
burner would be like what we would call in tattooing, like just
a banger, just like a quick banger.
I follow. Yes, sir.
So I go ahead and we it was me and a buddy of mine, so we kind of took up the whole bottom of the wall. So anyhow, he's like, all right, cool. You're not going to paint it white. You're going to make it a giant pool table now, because he owned a pool hall. There was a pool hall downstairs. So basically we end up just painting this fucking mural, which we had to fucking supply all the paint.
Oh,
We had to,
damn, that's fuck. Because otherwise you'd have fun almost.
well, we would have had fun if I didn't have to fucking, and by this time I was I couldn't get in trouble. I couldn't go and steal paint, because if I did, I automatically break my probation if I got in trouble, and I'm going to jail.
Right. And this
So
this is while you're also going into the army.
yeah, so I stopped stealing, and that's one of the like me getting in trouble and almost going to jail. That scared me straight. I was like, all right, well, I can't afford to fucking do anything. That I couldn't speed, I couldn't do nothing. I was like, I'm not doing shit. I'm not getting in any fights, nothing.
Right.
So I was like, there's no way I'm gonna fucking ruin my probation and get caught up fucking stealing a couple cans of spray paint. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I had to go buy fucking paint to fucking paint this fucking jackass's girl. It was a damn near like fucking like $600. I'm like, fuck, dude. So I'm basically just killing myself, because I didn't have any fucking money.
Where were
So
you getting your money from? Were you tattooing? You weren't tattooing either, actually, then.
I wasn't tattooing. I had a job. I worked at a fucking pizza place. So it was it was I had a bunch of lowrider bikes at the time that were worth a bunch of money, and I turned around and sold a bunch of those, and you
Right on.
know I made some fucking adjustment. I take it back. I did have some buddies that were fucking still fucking stealing paint. I fucking bought the paint from them. I said, hey, go get me like 30 cans of paint, and I'll give you like fucking like $100. So I mean, I still was hustling, but I wasn't fucking doing anything myself. So
Did you get a
uh,
picture of your mural?
oh man, I got a whole book. What's fucked up, dude, is I have a fucking whole scrapbook of all. I mean, I got newspaper clippings, dude. Come on, like there's like it's like I got
The
newspaper.
Cleen bandit strikes again. Four
Uh,
more houses vandalized last night and under heavy fog cover.
well, you know what? Here's also another scenario. I like I said, I'm a pretty nice guy, and I feel like I give the shirt off my back, and I have a heart.
Mhm.
And I painted this guy's van. It was his work van, and I did a whole big piece on the whole side of it. I'm talking from the front bumper to the back bumper, over the windows, over the whole entire side of this work van. It was just a big fucking big clean piece. So I do this van, and I got in trouble. So I had to go to their fucking house. They parked it out on the street. You know what I mean? So I just fucking walked by, rode my bike by, or I don't remember what happened, but
Right. Just an easy tag.
yeah, I painted the whole fucking van in less than fucking 2 minutes. You know what I mean? So I remember going to that guy's house, and I had to go with my probation officer, and we went to this guy's house, and they knock on the door, and I remind you, they've already gotten
Been
rid of the
warned that
whole.
you come.
they already scraped it off the windows, and they already,
Okay.
got it the van. And the guy comes out and he's like, "Yeah, what's going on?" And they're like, "Hey, this is the guy that we caught, the guy that painted your van, and this is him." And he starts motherfucking me, and he's like, "You motherfucker," and "God damn you, fucking, you don't know how much
Yeah.
money that cost me," and blah blah
I
blah.
got a reputation to keep. I
So
do the plumbing around here.
yeah, exactly. So he was like, so his wife comes out and she's crying, and she's fucking crying because she's like, that's what he uses for fucking work.
Work.
And when he's pulling up to somebody's house, they look at him like a piece of trash and they don't want to hire. He lost a lot of jobs because of that. And it cost us every penny that we had and all of our savings to
Well, that
repaint that.
fucking that sucks,
Oh,
right?
dude, I was like, I'm like sitting there like with my head down like a fucking like, like the biggest piece of shit in the world.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
feel
like,
like that right now for how I was imagining it a minute ago. I was like, I kind of fucked this
oh,
guy, but
yeah, no, and his wife's crying like she's holding a baby,
mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, and I'm like, and I'm like, I had to man up and I say, I'm really sorry, and I'll do whatever I can to work it off. I don't have any money, but I can work it off. So I literally fucking, what did I do for that guy? Um, I cleaned his whole entire garage at his house. I pulled everything. I mean, I'm talking. This guy had a 2-car garage in the back of his house, packed to the
Yeah.
brim.
Well,
I
he's
mean,
got a work van. He's gonna have some stuff in that garage all over.
yeah, I didn't touch the van. But I remember pulling every fucking thing out of this guy's garage. I'm talking 2-car garage packed with junk. I mean, fucking trash, dude. And I had to fucking organize and clean all of it. And he was there fucking dictating it. You know what I mean? I was just
Yeah.
basically being a fucking
Well,
worker bee.
they're gonna make sure that you're not gonna steal any of it. He's gonna be real close by.
Um, yeah, I don't think they were. I mean, they could have been worried about me stealing it, but I mean, he was there, and
Right.
I'm a fucking good fucking worker, man. If I have to do something, I'm gonna work. I'm not a lazy motherfucker, so I'm over here humping shit, and I was there for fucking probably 2 to 3 days every day, starting at fucking, I had to be there bright and fucking early. Whenever they told me to be there, I had to be there. I'd work all fucking day long. I had to bring a lunch. And we basically fucking pulled everything out of this fucking guy's fucking garage. He had a stack of fucking drywall. So I was helping him hang the fucking drywall, fucking throwing shit in the garbage, organizing fucking nuts and bolts. And it was just dumb. But he basically, I just had to do whatever the fuck he told me to. You know what I mean? So it was what it was. And that one right there, I think that one basically like made me realize, because I come from a pretty poor fucking family. You know what I mean? And I could tell that they were like poor fucking people. The guy was kind of a fucking pack rat. He wouldn't throw nothing away. So I'm over here organizing nuts and bolts and shit.
Right.
So it kind of put me in the situation like, I'm very thankful that this guy, all he wanted me to do was help him clean his fucking garage out so that he could, organize his tools and fucking all that shit. Because I'll tell you right now, if that was my fucking dad, my dad would have fucking beat that fucking kid's ass in front of the cops. You know what I mean? So I was like, fucking, hey man, like this guy could have fucking totally been a total fucking dickhead and made me
Right.
do. But he said, hey, as long as he fucking helps me fucking do this, fine, we'll be fucking, I'm cool with that. So I did whatever the fuck I had to do. And then I
I,
went on to the next fucking one, and I had to do fucking some bullshit. Fucking I had to fucking snake these fucking pipes at this fucking factory that it was probably illegal now that I think about it. Like these guys were fucking,
some child labor laws broken. They're like, yeah, put them down there with the asbestos.
no. These motherfuckers were like pouring shit, some kind of fucking shit down. I don't even know what they made. They made some kind of cabinets, but they're pouring shit down the fucking drain, which probably needed to go in like 55-gallon drums and put in a fucking toxic dump or some
Yeah.
bullshit.
We got some
And I'm over
hexavalent
here,
chromium out back that we need gotten rid
yeah,
of. We'll just have them
and
go chuck it in the swamp.
Yeah,
Here,
and
wear
I'm
these
over here
boots, kid.
with rubber gloves on and fucking these weird fucking rubber boots, and I'm with a fucking little scraper, and I have to fucking basically scrape all this shit off the floor into these drains, right? Remind you, it's like glue, and
Right.
then I'd had to put as much as I could in the fucking garbage can, but then basically scrape most of this shit down the fucking drain and then pressure wash it. Like it was terrible.
Right. They got some EP. You're doing the EPA violations, and then they can
Yeah.
just be like, "Well, this kid came over. We had no idea he was putting it down the drain." Who would have? Perfect timing. We're like, man, I would be if I was that company. They would probably be trying to entrap more uh vandalism. Like, man, if we could get some more slave labor just to get rid of the sex of alien crew, man.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is I did that for fucking pretty much fuck almost a year, literally.
Well, your criminal days are behind you. Well, I'm guessing now.
Oh, 100%, man. Like
What
I don't do,
what's next on the horizon?
dude. I just opened my bar and I'm trying to get some slot machines going.
You now, I'm curious, but you've never smoked weed. You've never
No,
drank alcohol, then I'm guessing either.
nope,
And I've never known you to.
nope.
But you own a bar.
Yes.
That's of interest.
Well,
It
but
maybe it's the smartest thing, right? Because like if you're not supposed to use your own supply.
yep, exactly. Oh, you
But
know,
are you gonna like being around drunks?
I hate it.
That's what I was right on. Well, you must have other people to do the jobs then, huh?
Yes.
You feel like Tafferty in there? You get to do any yelling?
Yeah, man. I hang on one sec. What's up? Yes.
Was that Mark?
Yes.
Tell Mark we said, hey, I should let you get off to this party, man.
Oh
But
no.
thanks for doing this impromptu.
Yeah. You just keep me posted if you need me again. Let me know.
Yeah, I think well, we got a lot to catch up on because we really didn't get into the youth that makes up the Cowboy Clean.
Oh yeah,
And
man.
and I know there's more
Okay.
behind that I want to get into.
Make it happen.
All right. Take care, brother. You have a good one. Tell
You
everybody
too.
we said hi.
Okay. Bye.
Take care, man.